On tonight's show, we have artist, content creator, and vanlifer, Narviebarbie. And now for your host, KoolKard. Welcome everybody to episode 84 of the Kickin' It with KoolKard show. I am your host, KoolKard. Thank you for tuning in each and every week. I have some phenomenal guests that come on here, man, and I can't do it without you guys, and I do it for you. You know that. Trying to bring you value each and every time I come on here. I hope that somebody can take something away and go do something great with themselves in life. It's a lot of information out there that's being withheld from people, so this is why I do this. And some people just don't know what they need to know. So hopefully I can bring somebody on that can help you along your journey. Take something, put it in your tool belt, and go and be great. And if there is anyone in a profession or any profession that you want me to tackle, please leave it in the comments. You can hit me, DM me on Instagram, KoolKard. You see it in the lower third right there. Yeah, send me suggestions if you want to learn something, if you want to know more about something and you want to hear it from someone who's actually doing it. Hit me up. I'll be more than happy to reach out, man. I'm telling you, I'll be out there just finding people. So yeah, tonight is nothing far from that. I found this woman, this young woman, doing great things and doing like some, I'm just like, this is all new to me. This is all new to me with what she's doing. But yeah, her name is Narviebarbie. She's a vanlifer. She's an artist. She's a content creator. She is a pig owner. She has a pet pig. Now, I am familiar with pet pigs, but I've never known someone who's had a pet pig. And hopefully we'll get to meet the pet pig, Pumba Sunflower, tonight on the show, hopefully. But yeah, yes. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I'm loving it. Episode 84, we're growing, we're building. I just want to thank everybody that tunes in each and every week. And if you catch it on the replay, that's cool too, man. Just share it. Anyone who is a first-time watcher, a first-time viewer, I invite you to subscribe so I can continue bringing this to you like how I like to do it. All right. But yeah, man, without further ado, Narviebarbie, let's get it in. Let's have a good conversation, y'all, and let's get to know her tonight. I'm going to bring her in with a cool little intro, and then we'll get to talk with her. Let's get it, y'all. We got disconnected. Let's see if we can get her back on the line. Let's get her back on the line, get this show going. I don't know what happened, y'all, but we're going to get it together. Don't even worry about it. You know how we do it around here. Get her coming right. We're going to get her on the show. We're going to get it popping, y'all. And hopefully we can meet Pumba tonight. Oh, there she goes. Let's get her back. Let's get her back.
Can you see me?
Narvy, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but hey, we back. We good.
Yeah. Hey, can you see me good?
I can see you perfectly fine. Yes, everything looks good. Everything looks great. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no doubt, man. Hey, listen, I saw your feed on Instagram. Saw that what you're doing. It is very unique in a sense. I know there's a whole culture out there of what you are doing. I had no idea. Like, it blew my mind. The first time that I saw a vanlifer, and for everybody, a vanlifer is someone who travels in their van. There's people that actually live in their vans and they just travel state to state. And it's not that they're homeless. This is something that it's a choice. It's a choice. And they have their businesses. They have their entrepreneurs. Some have 9-to-5s, but they still get out there and adventure and explore the United States, the world, and all that. But for you, like when I first saw you, I said, man, you got unique style. It's just something unique about you, and you're doing something unique. Like, listen, man, and you're from Alabama, right?
Yes.
You're from Alabama.
Tuskegee, Alabama originally.
Yeah.
And then Auburn, went to Auburn University.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got a degree, you got an MBA. Like, you
don't have an MBA yet.
You have an MBA, but you're working on it.
Yes.
You're working on it, but it's all good. You went to college. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so listen, you from a small town, Alabama. Myself, I'm from Mississippi. I'm from Waveland, Mississippi. So I'm from a small town. So I can relate from where you come from down in the South. And then you headed west for the mountains.
Yes.
I myself, I headed west for the mountains. I used to live out in Texas, used to live out in California, and
Oh,
I used to live out in Vegas. I love the mountains. Like I love waking up, seeing that
yeah.
mountain range. Like it's just no other feeling. Why did you choose to leave the South and want to go out there?
Well, I used to go out to California every summer. That's where my dad's from.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up, just going as a kid. And I knew then that I wanted to move out west. I thought
Okay.
I wanted to move to California, but when I went to visit Colorado for the first time, I fell in love with Denver. That's where I initially was staying, was Denver.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the nightlife. I enjoyed, all the people I met, and I was working a job where I could relocate anywhere in the United States except for a couple of states.
Okay.
And I, I was already, so I was doing insurance adjusting,
Okay.
where I would go to people's homes and I would climb ladders and get on their roofs and
Okay.
check for storm damage. And I packed up my truck, and I told my mom at the time I was actually going on a road trip because she didn't want me to move
Oh
anywhere.
wow.
And I packed up my pickup truck and I drove out there. I lived in Colorado for a solid like 7-8 years.
Oh wow. Okay. So you finessed your mother, dipped out.
Yeah, I did.
And
Yeah.
headed for the hills. No, but
And
that's
I'm
cool.
glad I did. I mean, my life
Yeah.
I
No.
wouldn't have developed in the way that I did if I would have stayed.
Listen.
Um,
Listen. A lot of people might not understand what you mean when you say that, but coming from Waveland, Mississippi, I understand wholeheartedly what you mean. And don't get me
right.
wrong, my people, they love it there. There's some, you know what I mean? Some of my people, they love it there. I've always been a city-minded kid, and my dad was in the military, and I moved around, and I stayed in Mississippi for some time as well. And then I moved back. My mother passed away. I moved back, lived out there for a couple more years. I get it. But there's some people that love it. They love that hometown feel. Everybody knows each other. It's small, family, cool. But it ain't for me. I could not have grown to who I am. I could not have spread my wings and done the things that I've done had I just sat planted there. So I get it.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's all about
Oh,
what you want.
very true. It is about what you want out of life. And like you said, some people, maybe that's what they want, is a
Yeah.
small town, and to um there's nothing wrong with a simple life. I feel like I'm
Right.
kind of living a simple life.
You
Well,
you simplified your life.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You simplified your life by doing what you're doing.
Yes, but I do have to say I'm a part-time van lifer at the moment,
Okay.
because I'm not living out of it full time.
Right.
I have lived out of it full time. I actually did when it wasn't even completely built out. It was partially built out. So I guess you could say, kind of roughing it.
Okay.
And I feel like you really learn a lot about yourself and life when you just put yourself in situations like that. I mean, you learn how to appreciate everything and not take things for granted, because I slept in that van with Pumba. Actually, we slept in there one time in like 14-degree weather because we were
Oh
traveling, and
God.
wrapped ourselves, like I put the sleeping bags all around us, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey.
but it was fun.
Do what you gotta do. And yeah, and it's an experience. Like
Yeah.
that's the experience that you will never ever forget. And it builds
Right.
you up, man. And it does something to you, And actually, and looking back on it, those times were fun. You know what I mean?
Right. I was probably miserable when I was freezing, but like you said, it builds you up.
It builds you up. Yeah. I mean, you look back on it, and you be like, man, I don't want to do that again. But it's like it just builds some character, and then you know how to survive. That's the main thing. It's like you should. I don't want to say inconvenience yourself, but I think that people should step out and put themselves in uncomfortable situations to grow, also to just figure out how to survive in life without just say I gotta rest on a 9 to 5. I gotta rely on this 9 to 5. There's no other way that I can do it, because I've been there. I was working a 9 to 5, and when you got family, kids, whatever, bills, it's scary sometimes. It's like, man, I want to step away, but can I sustain? You know what I mean? But sometimes, man, like Steve Harvey says, you gotta take that leap of faith. You gotta jump, and them wings are gonna spread, and then you figure it out. And what's crazy about that whole analogy of jumping and flying, when you do that, you get that bird's eye view of everything, and you just kind of figure it out. Like, okay, this is what I gotta do. This is what I gotta do. This is what I need. I gotta provide this, and it's like you got a bird's eye view to just basically be like, okay, let me move this chess piece here. Let me move this here. I'll make this right there, set that right there to make this work. Like, that's how it is. And you figure it out, and it's scary at first, and it's very uncomfortable.
Right.
But you figure it out and you get it. And now I'm in a place, I don't know about you, but I'm in a place where I utilize 9 to 5s to get to another step in life. I know that's not my end goal. I know that's not my end point. And I know I don't want to be there, but I utilize it to get to another place, right? And I never will ever have a fear of somebody saying, hey, we're gonna have to let you go. You know why? Because I've been there where I didn't have someone to tell me that, and I had it figured out. So if I gotta resort back to that, I know how to survive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, man. I even told a manager that. I was like, I have no fear of being let go. I'm not saying I want you to, because this is part of my plan, but I have no fear of that, because like I figured it out. But it takes you.
Also,
Go ahead.
right. Well, I was gonna say, a big thing about fear is, well, I didn't know you lost your mom, because I just lost my mom last year. That's
Oh,
what
man.
got me. Yeah, that's what got me back into the South, and last year completely changed my life. I know it probably changed everyone's life, but I mean, my mom, died suddenly, and
Yeah, that's tough.
yeah, so I honestly had no idea that anything else was going on in the world for, a long time. And
Right.
I remember the day she passed. I said to my uncle, I said, my biggest fear, or my only fear, was losing my mom. That was like the only fear I ever had,
Yeah.
was like my mom dying.
Yeah.
And he said to me, well, you know what they say, on the other side of your fears is everything you want, or you could have ever dreamed of. So
Yep.
basically, when you remove fear, you're able to achieve
Yeah.
your goals. You're able to, like you said, you don't have the fear of losing the job. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, I don't fear like things that I guess a lot of people fear, because of the fact that, I went through losing my mom, which I honestly thought I would not have handled the way that I've handled it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think about her every day. It's not easy.
Oh, heck yeah.
But I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here living.
I tell people all the time, man, like it's never easy. And as the years go by, it'll get easier, but you'll never get used to it. You know what I mean? Like, you'll never get used to your mother not being here, but it will get easier. Trust me. I lost my mom when I was 9 years old. So yeah, it gets easier. And I have my brother to tell me the stories and tell me the memories, because I was so young, man. Like, I don't remember a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, I know my mom. I remember my mom, of course, but like moments, like the special moments and little things here and there, like I have to have my brother like jog my memory, because man, it's so far gone. It's not that I don't think about it, I don't want to remember it, but like I said, it gets easier with time. And sometimes time will fade certain things, man. It's like, no, I don't want it to fade, so I just gotta stay connected with me and my brother telling me the stories and stuff like that. But you still never get used to your mother not being here. Like, I wake up some nights and she's just on my mind. Like, I don't know how this will sit with you or other people, but I believe in spirits. I believe in the afterlife. I've seen my mother you know, I've seen my mother. I've seen my mother. You know what I mean? Like, and it was her. Like, it's several times. Like, I was sleeping, and I'm laying in my bed, and my eyes. It's like I thought I was dreaming, right? And I see like sunlight coming through the window blinds, but they're closed. But you know how it looks in the morning. It's like slightly coming through, so you can kind of see it around the room a little bit. And there was a chair that was pulled out facing me. My mother was sitting right there, and I thought I was dreaming. And then as I'm sitting there just looking, I'm realizing, no, I'm awake. I'm not dreaming. You know what I'm saying? And then there was another time, you know,
Yeah.
at my aunt's house. I went to go live with my aunt after my mother passed away. I ain't trying to get too long-winded about it, but I went to go live with my aunt back in Mississippi when my mother passed away, and I come down her front porch, and it's at night, and I look over at her gate. It's like a chicken wire gate or something right there, and my mother was like standing right there, and I was like, man. And I always thought like, man, I would just like bolt out and start running, you know what I mean? But I didn't
Yeah.
walk to her. I didn't walk to her, but I just sat there looking, and I was like, man, all right. And I just kind of, you know, walked on, said my piece or whatever. It's
Right.
certain things, but anyway, yeah, man, you
Heard that will happen. You know, and I do believe that. I mean, I definitely know that there's something because of, you know, after her passing, a lot has happened.
yeah,
So, but I'm glad that we're both moving forward
yeah,
because I feel like my mom, that was one of her favorite things to say. She would say, you know, life is for the living, and she loved the fact that I, you know, got the van. And at first she was weary, but once I started traveling, and she was enamored.
yeah,
So
yeah. You were
yeah,
living life, living free, man. You got a free spirit about you for sure. You
that's what
definitely,
I hear.
you definitely have Cali vibes, like you know what I mean. Like you got the bronze hippie thing, you got the hippie thing going on, the whole free spirited, like. But it's good though. It's great energy. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Thank you.
on that note, let's give it up to God. I gotta start my show with the prayer. I know we got
Okay.
deep into it a little bit, but I think it's appropriate right now. All right, cool. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just pray and ask that you just continue blessing us, blessing our lives, loving us and lifting us up. We just give you all the glory, all the victory, all the love, all the praise. We thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for waking us up every day. We thank you for just granting us life, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus. We pray and ask you continue granting us life and blessing us and loving us and lifting us up, shining a light down on us, just seeing us through it all. Praying, ask Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, you just give Narvy the strength to continue on. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, dealing with the loss of her mother, Lord Jesus, just allow her to rest on you and give her that strength and allow her to celebrate her mother's life, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and live in your light. Lord Jesus, we just thank you for being able to come together tonight, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and have this great conversation, Heavenly Father. We just give it all up to you for everything, for any and all things that you do, that you've done, that you are doing, and will do, Lord Jesus. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you for praying for me. That was
Oh,
so sweet.
for
Thank you.
sure, for sure, for sure. That's what it's about, girl. That's what it's
Yes,
about. You gotta lift each other up, man. Gotta lift each other.
absolutely.
Yes. Now you were talking about your van. You were sleeping in it, living in it before it was even done. I got a clip when you were actually there when the guy was kind of putting it together. So I want to show everybody what we're talking
Okay.
about because we want to get more in depth about this van life because I know we're only scratching the surface. But let me show everybody what we're talking about real
Okay.
quick. All right, we'll be right back.
Okay. Very cool. Look, Pumba. Love it.
You got it's kind of like a little seat here. Is that good?
Oh yeah, that looks great.
Yo, that's super cool, man. That's super cool.
Thank you.
Yes. How long did it take for him to kind of, revamp the whole thing, to gut it and
So it was a process. When I got the van, so I got it in Texas, because it was less expensive to get it there than Colorado or California, and it was, you know, a used van, um, and my ex and I were building it out together. I mean, he was mainly doing the work, but we were gonna have it built out, you know, by ourselves.
right.
And we broke up. The van was in my name, so I got the van, and I thought I was going to build it out. And then I realized, that's probably just not going to work. So it took about 2 years before I was able to actually pay someone to build it out. And because of COVID, they had it for, at least 6 months. They had it.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to take like 2 or 3, and it took them like double the time. But I finally got it. So, and it's got an oven, a stove, refrigerator, air conditioner. I'm so glad I got the air conditioner because of the humidity in the South.
Yeah.
Because out west, I didn't have to really worry about the AC.
Okay.
But it's rough. Okay, this is Brecken. He's saying hello.
So now, you did say you moved back south because after your mustard, so you're back in Alabama?
Yep. Working with, I have a sister, it's like estate, stuff. So.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move on from that.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on from that. But yeah, so okay, so I was saying at the top of the show though, I was completely oblivious to van life. Like, it's a whole culture, a whole thing. Like, how did you get involved in it? How did you learn about it? And what made you want to just do it and get out there? And have you connected with any other van lifers?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So when I was working for Allstate as a catastrophe adjuster, I would go to my claims, and you meet different adjusters, and I met this couple. They were traveling around in a van, and this was like 7 years ago probably. And they were traveling in a van together. They worked together. They were so cute. They were so happy. They were older, and they had been doing this a while. And I feel like you kind of think like this too, based on what we've talked about. When you see someone that's like happy and successful, it's probably a good idea to do what they're doing,
Right.
So, I was like, man, I want that,
Yeah.
And it took me like 7 years, but I got there,
Right.
But I was like, I want that. I was like,
when I got Mr. Sunflower, I was going
50, 60 to get an RV.
Right.
I just don't want to wait. I want to get a van. And, I looked at smaller vans that I couldn't stand in. Like, I just wanted to get something. And, eventually it came to fruition. It was a dream, and it became real. I wanted it so bad that it worked. And I didn't know that I would end up where I am today, by any means. But I guess, just, I don't know, when you do want something and you intentionally put your energy towards it, I think you can, get whatever you want. Right. And you just have to block out negative influences.
So this couple, they were adjusters as well, and they lived in their van, and they would just go to the sites.
Yep, and they traveled together. Yep.
Wow.
So that was just amazing.
Yeah. And honestly,
question you asked me, I don't know if I missed it.
I asked you if like the whole community of van lifers, like, have you met other van lifers? Do you guys come together? Are there, you know what I mean? Like, are there gatherings? You guys come together? Do you network? Like, how does that work?
Yes. So I was actually, and I hate I didn't get to do it, but this past year I was actually invited to be like a host or to present, like a presenter at a van festival. So,
wow.
It was called Van Fest USA. So, I mean, it is a growing community. You've got van lifers. You have people that are building out school buses. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I've not seen that.
You need to check it out. I mean, these are massive. They're way bigger than doing a van. but yeah, you meet people along the way. You know, you pull up and you're in your van and you see somebody with a van and you guys start talking. And I mean, it's like every beach I go to, it usually happens. And
Wow.
also having Pumba, they're like, what's going on here? You
Right.
know? I mean, I'm up in a van and then I get out and I got a pig.
Got a
So,
pig. Yeah. Definitely a
so,
conversation starter.
so yeah. And you know why I really enjoy him is because he's kind of making noise, but he takes the attention off of me, which I really do like. You know what I mean? Like if someone meets me, they're not going to ask me like about me. They're usually just going to ask about Pumbaa, which
Right.
I love that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a break from the norm, that's for sure. Because anytime you meet somebody, it's 20 questions. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's 20 questions about Pumbaa. You know, how old is he? How big is he gonna get? Where did you get him? I mean, it's like the same questions. So I'm thinking about typing them up and like having ready for everyone.
Hey, here's a tear sheet. Just read. You know.
Yeah.
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 So when did Pumba come along? Why did Pumba come along?
So Pumbaa will be 2 this September 13th.
Okay.
And I got Pumbaa in 2019. My mom was still alive. And basically, so when I was in my early 20s, I dated someone who I felt like kind of reminded me of Kermit the Frog because of his demeanor and everything like that, you know. And I got called Miss Piggy, I guess, and so it was, yeah, because of how Miss Piggy is.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that anymore. Like, well, I take that back. I just played a virtual reality game and I kind of looked like Miss Piggy. Like I was losing it. But so I kind of like identify like with Miss Piggy. And so I was doing research about having a pet pig and it seemed like something I could do. And with the van, I mean, it could have been risky if he, you know, would have grown to, I guess, 400 pounds, if he wasn't really because he's a potbelly pig, and you never know if it's really a potbelly pig. I mean, he could have been a farm pig.
Right, yeah.
But I got lucky, and this lady, she said she had a house fire. He needed a home. I had been talking with her, and I went and got him in Tennessee. I went and got him.
Wow. So potbelly pigs, they kind of stay like, they're kind of like the miniature versions of a pig.
So Pumba is almost 2, and from what I've learned about pigs is that, or his breed, he can grow until he's about, I think, 3 to 5 years old. But the weight that he was when he turned 1, they say you really just take that and double it, and that would be probably. So he was like 40. He was like 40 pounds when he was 1, so he could get about 80.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's like having a Rottweiler. Pretty,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah.
You want to see him? See if people can see him?
But let me put your cameo shot on. Let me see. There he goes. Look at him. The infamous Pumba. He's trying to get him something to eat. Go ahead and feed him.
Eat a little snack.
He's over there taking a nap, huh?
He sleeps like, at least he tries to sleep at like 12 hours. He loves to sleep.
Oh, that's cool, man. I love their personalities. They're just like dogs, man. They're just like dogs. So the first time I saw somebody that had a pet, a pet pig, I was like, wow, like their personalities are just like dogs. Like,
so you met somebody with one?
No, I saw videos of people with one. But I had never known it was a thing for someone to have a pig. But every time that I saw somebody that had a pig, the videos, like the pig was just like full of life and very smart, and you could talk to them, you could tell them things, and they'll come here, they'll go there, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a dog.
Right.
And it's just like so much love they have. You know what I mean?
They're actually smarter than dogs. I don't know if you knew that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. I can believe it though. I can believe it, man. Just watching them, just watching the
Yeah.
videos of them and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
A
Like,
pig, their intelligence is equivalent to a 3-year-old human.
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That is cool. Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about having a pig, but that is cool as hell. I've always had dogs. I mean, but that's the closest thing I can relate it to, because it's like, I like when people think and hear pig, they don't think of Pumba. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like running around playing, like everybody thinks pig, they just think bacon, they want to eat or whatever, that type of stuff. But you know what I mean? Like for real. But once you're educated on them and you see them and how friendly they are, full of life and loving, like you be like, wow, a whole new world. You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's so cool. I love his personality, and I don't eat bacon or anything like that, but I actually had stopped eating. I do eat fish, but I actually had stopped eating, pork and all of that prior to getting him.
Right.
I did used to love eating bacon. I mean, it was really good at one time to me, for sure.
I ain't gonna lie, I still tear it up, man. Sorry, Pumba, but I won't eat Pumba, but
Close your ears.
Right.
His ears from that.
So, yeah, I won't eat Pumba, but yeah, that bacon. I like bacon on my salad, everything.
Don't be saying that cuss word around him.
I know. I'm sorry. But hey, I want to share with the viewers a short. It's about 3 minutes long. I think it's short enough, but short little video that you did, basically talking about Pumba and his personality and how you got him. I want to share that with the viewers so they can kind of get to know him a little bit more. Is that cool with you?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. You should talk to him. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Pumba Sunflower. Yes. So if you ever thought about getting a pig, well, maybe we can convince you tonight that the pig is the play. The pig is what you want to do. All right. Very smart. Oh, so much life, so much character, man. Oh my God. So listen, talking about character, he has a personality, a mind of his own. I heard that Pumba is going to land on television, and I'm pretty sure you can't talk a lot about it, but can you tell us a little something?
So I had to sign a contract. And basically, so the reasoning for that, a lot of times, because it's a new show.
Okay.
They just want to. I mean, it's happening pretty fast.
Okay.
Like it's supposed to air. They're shooting for like September, October.
And have you filmed it?
No. So I think they want to wait until. They just don't want to get pulled by the any network or anything. Yep. But it's only thing I can say. I mean, it's a major network. Let's just put it that way.
Cool. And how did you get discovered? From your feed, from your Instagram feed, or?
Yep. I received a message, and it was actually last year.
Okay.
From 2 different recruiters. And like talent recruiters, and you get a lot of messages, and you kind of gotta just weed them out because some are trash.
Yeah, for sure.
So turns out that this one wasn't, and it was definitely legit. Did like a Zoom call. They wanted to talk with me and Pumba, and so we did, and the rest is history. So I'm still in a fog and a daze because it's very unreal to me. But I am very much so up for a challenge. Like you said, you think it's important for people to put themselves in uncomfortable situations, and I think that this is definitely going to be like something like that for me because I've never done it. I have no idea what to really expect. But I think this is crazy awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Hey man, that's the beauty of it though. You don't know what to expect. So enjoy it, man.
Yeah,
Live in the
well,
moment. Just enjoy the experience. I hope it just takes you to a whole different stratosphere. Like I really hope that it just snowballs for you. You know, you get that show, you do, you know, other people start calling, you get something else, you get a reality show. Like it'll be so cool for them to chronicle your travels. And then you can just travel on the road with Pumba and do a reality show. I mean, would you be up for that?
I mean, I think that sounds really cool. I would definitely do that. Like kind of like a spin off of the Simple Life. Like we were just talking about
Yeah.
Simple Life earlier. So like, it was like Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie. It would be like me, Pumbaa, and then my boyfriend. We're like the 2021 version of that.
Right. Right.
It's a new world. You got you got couples traveling around with pigs and vans.
Right.
Like you said, by choice.
By choice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're choosing to be, homeless in a way
Right.
sometimes. Because I was called homeless when I was living full time out of the van. Someone was being mean, but you can call me whatever you want.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It's not going to stop.
Doesn't
Yeah, it's
matter
not going
what
to
people
stop me
say.
from.
You know what I mean? They don't know. They don't know any better. God forgive them. They really don't. They don't. They don't know any better. They really don't.
Well, you know what? I just feel like I heard a quote. Someone said, if I cared about what people thought about me, I'd be broke.
Yep.
And so you can't care what people think and you can't care what they say, because if you want something and it's positive and it's not hurting anyone, then go for it. Don't let someone talk you out of it.
Yeah. Life is all about transitions, man, and it's just chapters, and they'll catch you at the chapter where they feel like they can get, they can one up themselves to put you down. But then they turn around and you're on TV with Pumbaa. Right? How life is.
I love how you just did that.
That's how life is, though.
I think a lot of people are probably in shock, but I mean,
hey, you did it your way. Right? But
yeah.
No, but on some real stuff though, it's like that's not, you don't do it for that. And I know just from talking to you and seeing your character and who you are, you don't do it for that. But that's what it is though. That's how life is. That's why you don't shit on people. That's why you don't talk down to people, because you never know what their situation is, what they're going through, and you never know where they're going, and you never know what you're gonna go through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You never. Well, that's the whole being humble. Which, I mean, I had to learn that. I mean, it took years of me figuring out, and like, humility.
Right.
Just basically, gratitude is just like everything. Like it is so
Everything. Yeah.
I used to be a huge taker. I didn't know any better. I would, I thought things were owed to me.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of millennials now. That's that millennial stuff now, but yeah, I get it though. Yeah, but you grew though. You learned and you grew, and you're better for it now. You're better from that. But a lot of people don't grow up.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
a lot of people.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel that moving out to Colorado forced me to kind of figure out, my life, because I moved out there. I knew no one.
Yeah.
I was out there literally alone. And I figured it out because something in me wanted to go through that. I don't know why, but I'm so glad I did.
God led you to that, Really.
Absolutely.
God led you to that. That's you don't question it, But listen, and you must have heard him speak. He must have put something, but you did it. You got up and went and did it, and that was God.
Yep.
And you wouldn't be where you are now.
Nope.
And if you're in a happy space, in a good place, and loving life, that's what you were supposed to go through.
Right.
That's just.
Well, it was hell. I went through some hell.
Oh, I know. We all go through hell. We all go through hell. We all go through hell, man. I was just watching.
Yeah.
What's the guy? His last name is Goings. David Goings, maybe something like that. I don't know. He used to be like an ex-marine, and I reposted it on Instagram, and he was just saying like, everybody has their shit. It's just some people are able to disguise it and dress it up a little bit more than others, but everyone that you talk to has their shit, but they'll make you feel like you're the only one that has your shit, and you're not good enough, you're not enough. You know what I'm saying? But they're over there dealing with some crap that they don't want anybody to know about either. And that's just what it is, man. We all go through it, and you have to go through it, and you gotta just hear God talk to you, hear your calling, find your purpose, your passion, and just go for it. You don't know why you popped up and wanted a van. Something just put it in you when you saw that couple, and it's like, that's me, right?
Well, actually, what started my infatuation with vans, so when I was a teenager, my parents, they owned some houses in like this college little, neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I started living in one of the houses with one of my sisters. That's where she lived when she went to college. But anyway, I started kind of living there, and my mom moved in so I could go to school in Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to have a residence,
Okay,
like an address there.
Yeah.
I couldn't, because in Tuskegee they wouldn't allow me to go to school in Auburn. So I moved to Auburn just to go to
you talking
high school.
High school? Okay, got you.
Yeah, high school, middle school. So I moved there, and I remember it was me and one of my friends. We would go into the little cul-de-sac, and there was someone that had a VW,
The old
Volkswagen.
VW, yeah.
And we were so just like obsessed with this van. So that kind of started it, like my infatuation with a van. I just, it's weird how that happens. Like you see something, and you're like, your mind just starts going like, yeah.
Vans have personality themselves, man. It's so much you can do with it. It's just cool, It's like a mobile getaway.
It's my little sanctuary.
Yeah.
I like to go in there. I call it my office. I mean, it really, I've definitely had some very special, moments in there to like really find myself. And,
right.
And my van's name is Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear and Sugar Mama.
I feel like a sugar mama, how much I've spent on the van, and I am sugar mama.
So how many states have you gone to? Like, how many? And what's the coolest place that you visited in your van?
Oof. Well, I went all the way to Canada in there, so that was cool.
Oh wow! From Colorado?
Yep. I broke it up. I actually would leave it and fly so I could like be back in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was like this whole thing, because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it straight, so I had to like take my time and keep going back. Okay. But I just would leave my van, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I had 2 cars at the time. I had a pickup truck. So I would leave my van, go back, and then come back. And I did it for about 2 months until I made it all the way.
Oh wow! Then how long did you stay in Canada?
Just a few days.
Okay.
I've been to that part of Canada before, but I was like, something got in my head. How cool would it be to drive a van there? So I did.
So what's your next trip? What are you thinking?
Well, next big trip is the road trip to Southern California.
Okay. And do you still want to live out there? Do you still want to move out there to California?
Well, this is for the television show.
That's a show. Okay. Gotcha.
But I honestly, I don't want to really live. I don't think well, I've always wanted multiple residences, and or just the ability to move, like kind of like with a van. I mean, whatever. I've been to a lot of the states. It's probably easier. I haven't been to Maine.
Okay.
I haven't been to Vermont. Haven't been to the Dakotas.
Okay.
I would say my favorite state in the mainland, because Hawaii is just. Have you been to Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah, no.
Hawaii is incredible. There's so much that's just incredible about Hawaii. Like, I've been to most of the islands, all of them, but Montana was beautiful. Like the sky, the sunset, sunrises. I mean, it was like nothing I'd ever really seen. Like, it was so beautiful. Like, just wide open.
Yeah.
I didn't like how many animals, like you could hit like an animal at any moment. And I saw like a big scary moose up there.
My God. And they're just out there just roaming around like squirrels.
It's a lot of big wildlife out there. Yeah.
Oh my God. And are they used to people? Like, they don't bother you?
Well, I saw this really big moose. I think it was like, I was either in Montana or Canada, but I'm not gonna lie, I almost like I almost went to the bathroom on myself when I saw it.
Oh my God. You were out of the car when you saw it?
No, I was in the van, and it was in the middle of. It was like, I think it was as tall as the van. It was huge.
Yeah. There's a little video on Instagram going around. You got this big old moose that's like walking in the median of the road. Like, he's huge. Yeah, that would. I mean,
scary.
If you hit that thing, you probably total your car.
Absolutely. Or like, I just didn't want it like charging at my car. You
Right.
never know with an animal.
Yeah, that big old thing could probably make your van topple over.
Right.
With the yeah. That's great. Hey, let's talk about the Maxim cover contest that you. Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure, because I read that you basically said you had to step out of your comfort zone for that. So that was another thing. You faced your fear, you went for it, and you actually got to the third round.
So I got to the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Which there was like a ton of little like elimination rounds, and then it went to like the quarterfinals. So I made it to the quarterfinals, and placed like third.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty competitive, so I wanted to win, but it's okay that I didn't, because I learned a lot. I learned, honestly, I think it was a lesson to show me who really like kind of is like supportive in my life and who's not, because it's kind of funny, there were certain people because it's crazy is that the system, the way that it was set up, you could see who voted for you.
Yeah.
You could see like who was doing the vote free or whatever. And I was honestly just like asking for like people to do the free vote, and all you had to do was have like a Facebook account. And I had people that didn't even know me creating Facebook accounts just so they could vote for me. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of crazy how everything you read is like people will be more supportive of you that people that don't know you.
That don't know you. I was laughing when you were saying that, because me and my cousin were just talking about that, man. And you know what it is? And it could be multiple things, but I think one of the main things that it is with people that know you, that like really know you, you might have grown up with them, they come from where you come from. It's like a slap in the face to them, because you guys rose up out of the same environment. You came from the same environment, but you went for yours, and you're doing things, and they're probably still standing where you left them. And it's a slap in the face to them. And it's like, dang, I'm still here, they're out there doing what I didn't have the courage to do, the know-how to do, or whatever it is. But it's a slap in the face to them. So they're reluctant to support your elevation even higher than where you've gone from them and away from them. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that because people are so envious, man. And especially in this day and age where everybody wants to be famous, everybody wants to be known, everybody wants to be seen. You know, there's still select few out there that are cool, living a simple life and just want to go to work, go home. But a lot of people want to be famous. They want to be known for something. So when they see you living your dreams, happy, don't know how you did it, don't know what you went through, don't know the hell that you went through, the lows that you've been through, the times that you were depressed, you know what I'm saying? The times you didn't have it. They don't know any of that. All they see is what you're showing them. And it's like they're envious of it, but they have no idea what you've gone through. And then they didn't have the courage, the balls, or the guts to go and do it themselves. And now, for lack of a better word, they hate on you because you did and you're doing. And they don't know if you're in a better place than they are, but what it looks like to them, you are. And they hate it. It makes them feel a certain way. They feel weird about it because they know that they could have been there or been doing whatever they had dreams of doing, and they're not doing it. And then there's some people that just hate, period. They might not even want to be doing what you're doing, but they're not going to support you and help you get to where you're going. I don't get it, man.
Well, I'm glad I learned like who flat out wasn't going to support me, because there was like a few people I specifically asked to vote for me, and I felt like it was a test. Like it actually was a great test, and people failed.
Yeah.
And
95% will.
And it's good for me that they failed, I guess, because now I know where we stand.
Exactly.
And so, but like my boyfriend's so funny because he gives really good advice, because he basically was like, well, Narvie, don't just write certain people off because maybe the next time they'll be there. But I guess there's something, how do I put this? You want to feel like people are there for you
always
at your low point too, and not that they're just coming in when things are good for you. Because like I was at a very, very below zero, and I have people that were there for me then, who loved me, who believed in me, who didn't put me down, who didn't make fun of me. So those people I remember, but trust me, there was a lot of people just making fun of me, and I don't know, like it was weird. And I'm just like, okay, well, make fun of me all you want.
Whispers. You hear the whispers even when you don't hear the whispers. You feel it, you know it. You know what I mean? Like you know it, and it's crazy. It's so crazy that people do that, and I just don't get it, man. Like and that's the thing. Like you don't know me from anyone, right? And
no.
And I actually love what you're doing. Like I really, cause like here's the thing. I love what you're doing because I told my wife, I'm like, listen, when the kids are out the house and we're retired and we're doing what we're doing, I want to get an RV and I want to travel the country. So when I see what you're doing now, I'm like, wow. I had no idea that this even existed the way you're doing it, the way other van lifers are doing it. Like I had no idea. So it's intriguing to me. You know what I mean? It's cool. And I'm like, man, and I'm the type of person too, like I like close quarters. Like I think no matter how much money I ever make, I don't think I have some big extravagant mansion because I like close quarters. I don't like to feel like I'm living in a warehouse. Right? So the van, right? Because
You would love it. You would love it.
Yeah, like I find myself in close quarters. Like small spaces, I'm the most creative. Late at night, close small places, I feel like I'm in a womb or something. I don't know, but it's just it's comforting.
I can relate. I'm 100% with you.
Yeah. So I'm like, I could dig that. I could do that. Like if I was single, I would do that. I would really do that. I would like, listen, I'm gonna live in a van. I'm gonna save this money, make my money, save my money, live in this van, probably have a pet as a companion, and just travel and whatever. You know what I mean? Like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's tons of people doing it, and there's people doing it that have families.
Right.
So
Yeah. For sure.
Actually, have a friend, they're about to do the RV life, and it's 3 kids and a husband, and they're gonna do it.
Yeah. Why not? Why not, man? Why not?
I agree.
Yeah.
Why not?
In this day and age, you gotta save every little bit you can. You never know what the hell is going on out here.
I agree. I think it's really important to cut down your expenses as much as you can.
Right.
So, and that's one thing it allowed me to do. I was able to really, cut down some expenses and, bumped my credit score. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah.
So, like 800s. So,
yeah.
And that's something that my friend and her husband are wanting to do. They want to get their, they're going to sort their credit out and get it up to the 800s and all that, So, I mean, you gotta make some strategic moves, and you gotta make sacrifices. I mean, yeah, I was sleeping in a van that was partially built out, but I'm glad I did. I mean, I knew while I was going through it, I was like, this isn't gonna last forever.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I know I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna get it done.
Right.
So
let me ask you this: when you're traveling, do you park at like RV parks that'll give you like electricity and water and stuff like that? Do you do that? Is that how that works?
I do. So I've done RV parks, but I've also done the, I'm tired, I'm gonna just pull up and park. Because that's what's cool about the van.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like is, incognito.
Yeah, you blend in. It's not like, oh, this person's sleeping in their van. It's like, no, it's just a car.
Yeah. So like an RV, and I'm not going to give out all the secrets, but it's kind of like a little, secret society where kind of where to park and not park, and you figure it out.
Yeah.
Out there, you know what to do. I mean, there's like little forums and things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a community that gives you guys communicate. Yeah.
But I really enjoy, like, me and one of my friends, we drove all the way down to Key West. I wanted to drive the van. Like, that's like a thing for me. I like to drive the van places because obviously I want to like get a picture of it there or whatever.
Right.
And, so we took it to Key West and Pumba.
Okay.
And on the way there, I just was like, I'm tired. I just can't go any longer. And pulled over. It was a nice looking area, and just went to sleep. And no, but yeah, I think I even passed a couple of cop cars. I was like, well, and it was late, so I was like, well, hopefully, because like sometimes you hear stories where cops can come knock on the door.
Yeah.
No, nobody messed with us. We just went to bed, and then we woke up really early before anybody probably knew we were parked there.
Right.
So, just in and out.
Right. Yeah, that's so cool. That's I would like to try it. I mean, I know my wife will never go for it. She's not. Yeah, she ain't there. But I would like to try that. That sounds so cool, man.
Y'all can rent one.
I know, right? Hey, you're onto something.
You should. You should rent it, and because like. My significant other, he did not know he was gonna love it as much as he did. He was actually kind of hesitant, and then he's all in now. He loves it.
Yeah, I should make it a surprise. Like, oh, we're just gonna rent the car, and then we're sleeping here. Like, oh no, we're sleeping right back there. Yeah, man. Definitely. Like, there's no reservations, so you can't. No, right back there. Hey, what's up with want to talk about your swim line though? You got your Bronze Hippie, right? And
so Bronze Hippie is owned by Bronze, my cousin.
Okay.
And can you see the?
Yes, can see it. Hold it up. Hold on. Let me put you. No. Keep it right there. Don't hold it. I got you. Let me get your cameo shot. There we go. Now I see it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Bronze Hippie. This is like a throw blanket.
Okay.
So Yeah, Bronze Hippie is a lifestyle brand that was started by my cousin, and it just so happened that I like everything she was telling me about Bronze Hippie. I was like, I am all about this. Like, this is just everything that I've been dreaming of. Like, I want to, work with you in
Right.
any way that I can to help with the branding. Um, and so fast forward to now, it's been I think about a year we've been kind of branding it.
Mhm.
And part of it was the Narviebarbie swim line. It just makes sense for me to have a swim line because I'm usually always in swimsuits.
Yeah.
So why not just have your own swim line? And the first collection was inspired by tattoos that I have. So um, I have a big, peace sign right here.
Okay.
That is, I mean, when you think of a hippie, you kind of think of a peace sign anyway, but that's used a lot on some of the swim. And then like the pig, I have pig, bikini, and like the branding, like my logo is on my leg. It's on some of the swim as well.
Okay.
So it's growing. I've got a few beautiful, I guess you could say, like ambassadors that are going to be taking some pictures, and some more to come. Like more, it's just a process, I guess you could say. So,
Okay.
but yeah, the Bronze Hippie lifestyle, I know where she wants to take it. It's just one of those things where we're just like building right now, kind of. I mean, it's like in the beginning stages.
I'm going to throw this out there, and I've thrown this out there to several people that I know that have done clothing lines, and no one's taken me up on it. And I really, really feel like it would be a good angle, and I don't think it would. I don't think it would smear the brand. I don't think it would, you know what I mean? I don't think that people would think any less of it. This is my idea. And if I had a clothing line, which I probably will eventually, because I got ideas, and I will definitely do this, but nobody's taking me up on this. Maybe you will.
What?
Did you ever think about selling your items on Groupon? Think about it. Just think about it. When you go... So hear me out. You can have your website, your whole store, your online store. You could do your Instagram store, whatever you want to do, right? But think about this though. As a new brand that nobody really knows yet, like, masses, of course. When you go on Groupon, do you ever shop name brand? If you ever been on Groupon, like I've been on Groupon and I've seen little things, like I see deals like, oh, this was such and such, and now it's 40% off, and you can get this, and you could get, buy one, get one free, whatever. But do you ever find yourself, if you're ever on Groupon looking for a name brand, like brands that like big brand names? You don't. You see cool stuff, and you see good deals, and you might try it because you like it. It looks good, and it's a good deal. So I'm so curious to know if somebody, because there's brands on there that are doing well. So I'm curious to know if somebody that I know would even attempt to do that and just see how it goes. Like, I think that's an untapped market for a lot of people to just reach the masses, because once you get them believing in it, once they get the brand, they get the material and they see it's good quality and it fits good and they like it, now they're going to go to your website. Because your deal is not going to be there forever, and they want it again, and they're going to tell people, they're going to tell their girlfriends about it, and they're going to tell their friends, you know what I mean? And now they'll go to your website. What do you feel about that?
So, I mean, it sounds fine to me. The only thing would be, I guess, the way that my cousin has her store set up with like the vendors, the people that she's getting the materials and stuff from. I wonder if it would have to be a situation where, we bought a bunch of things in bulk and then put it on Groupon. It's just it sounds fine. It's just the logistics part of it that I'm not 100% sure how it would work, but I mean,
I'm just
yeah,
curious. I'm really
sounds
curious.
great.
I'm really curious to know because I don't know anybody who sells on there, but I see brands on there and there's deals and they sell. I want to know how well they're selling because I really think that it could be a good way to just introduce your brand to a lot of people.
Can you just get on Groupon without?
Yeah, what you have to do is you go to the homepage and you go down to the bottom and it says like retailers or sell on Groupon or something. And the last time I checked, I think it was like mid-year. I can't even remember the year. It might have been like 2019. I looked and it said it was like July. I checked in July and they were like, "Oh, retailing will be open again in January. So check back in January to basically submit." So
Okay.
yeah, it's simple. You just go in there and fill the forms out and do what you got to do.
Well, I'll look into it and I'll let you know if we do it because it doesn't sound like, like why not?
Because one thing's for damn sure, swimsuits can get expensive. And if you can get on there and give people a good deal with your Narviebarbie swimsuits, people will buy it. They will buy it.
No, I like it. Yeah, I mean, I think Groupon's great. I used to be kind of addicted to it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, no, I think it sounds good. It would be like the only issue I could see is something to do with the vendor or whatever, and more than likely there's probably a way around it, but I'd have to talk with my other half about that.
Yeah, for sure. Anything can be worked out. It's just all about the logistics, like you said. So, yeah, I'm just curious. I just wanted to throw that out there because I've told several people, but no one ever takes, they never take the time to do it. But
yeah, it doesn't sound crazy to me.
I'm always about just sharing ideas. If I feel like I can help out and give you an idea that may spark something, man, I tell you, regardless if you take it or not, it's like that's just who I am. I'm gonna support.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Now, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to recap with the audience. So, listen. She dropped some gems earlier about basically getting like influencer deals and stuff like that and working with brands and things like that. And it's strictly off of her being herself and having an interesting timeline, an interesting feed on her Instagram, her account, right?
Yeah.
So listen, I just want to say that to the viewers and to anybody that's going to take the time to watch this, that just be yourself and post interesting things that are relevant to your brand. Stick to who you are and what you do. If you're running a business, everything needs to be relevant to your brand, to your business. And then people will come and seek you out. But if you're all over the place, just posting random shit, trying to get likes, because that's what most people do. They get off course because they're searching for the likes. They're searching for the likes. They're not getting the engagement they want. You're never gonna get the engagement if you just start posting random stuff and it makes no sense. Especially if you're a brand or a business, it makes no sense. So I just want to say, keep it simple, be you, and make it interesting. Show your life, show your story, show whatever it is you're doing. Make it interesting, and people will come. I just wanted to say that because I thought about that when you were saying, you were talking about it. I'm like, it's really that simple, but you gotta stick it out, and you gotta put the work in and just get the right shots, make it interesting, and people will come. You're about to be on TV because of your Instagram.
I know, it's crazy. I'm still in shock about it. I'm gonna be in shock, I believe, until I'm just like back, off the road and settled. And
yeah.
But it's an amazing experience. I know my mom is definitely watching and excited. We were actually supposed to go on The Price is Right. So
oh wow.
But then COVID happened and
dang. That would be a cool memory, man.
So I mean, I'm just taking it day by day and like you said, just staying consistent with the brand.
Yeah.
And I think I think something that's important to add is that, you know, yes, stay true to you and be consistent, but do know, I mean, evolving is always, you know, inevitable. You have to evolve. You can't just
Yeah.
stay, you know what I mean? So, um, but I think that's the whole branding thing. I do feel a lot of people they might struggle with branding. I actually learned a lot when I was at UC Denver,
Okay.
getting my like working on my MBA.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite classes. A gentleman came in and it was on personal branding, and he talked about how he grew up. He was Korean. He's Korean, so he didn't speak any English.
Mm.
And every day before school, he was saying how he started, if everyone's starting at 0, he was starting at negative,
Right.
5. And he couldn't speak English. And so he was learning how to speak English before he could go to, before going to school.
Right.
And fast forward, 20 years later, that's part of his personal brand, that he couldn't speak English. And he is now a speaker, like a
Right.
professional, public speaker.
Right.
And he can even, and I mean, when you hear him, he sounds,
He's
clear.
fluent. Yeah.
Oh, but that just was such an amazing story. And it just goes to show you, like, you can, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. I mean,
Whatever.
I know a lot of people don't think that. And I know a lot, but you can. I mean, if you have a able mind, like, I think you can really do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And patience, man. You just endure. Patience is a mother. Patience is not easy. It's not easy. And it comes down to faith. It just comes down to faith. I don't care what you believe in. If you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in, or whoever you believe in, you still got to have some type of faith. And that's to just believe in the unseen, man, and just know. Just know, if you put the work in, you put your head to the ground, put that work in, when you look up, you're going to be like, wow, you're going to be amazed at where you are, because you trust the process and you weren't focused on, I got to get to the money, or I got to get this, or I'm worried about fame. Just do what you do best, and trust me, that money will come. Or whatever it is you want, that it will come. It will come. So, yeah. And also, too, when you talk about evolution, evolving, evolve and let people see your evolution instead of drastically just changing overnight and I'm going this direction now. That's how you lose people. You know what I mean? Because they know it's just a effort. It's like, oh, I got ADD and I'm going to do this now, and that's kind of what it is. And you lose people. So.
And I have ADD, so.
I think I'm borderline too. I be all over the place. I just try to control it. But hey.
Me too.
Yeah, I try to control it, man. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. I'm here with you, sister. I'm here with you. But hey, in closing, I want to do kind of like a self-analysis thing. I started this on my last episode. I want to ask you, and this could be anything. This could be your personal life. This could be business, whatever. What's one thing you feel that you could do better to achieve what you want to achieve in life, or in business, or love, or whatever it is? What's one thing that could just jumps out at you?
Well, this one thing applies to love, business, my life, everything, because I got to get it together. I just need to be more organized with like the time management sometimes, because like I take so many vitamins and stuff, and like it's like a whole thing. And sometimes my boyfriend's like, he's like, I love you, but like, can we just go to the gym? Does it have to take an hour for us to, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I'm doing like my little, little drinks and my little collagen and my little this. So I feel like I need to get that better organized. I need to streamline that process.
Right.
Like ASAP. So I've always kind of struggled with, I mean, it's kind of one of those like generational curses.
Yeah. 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 It's a thing. That's a real thing. It's learned behavior. It's just learned behavior. And you grow up around people who have the same habits, and you take your time or you get distracted or whatever. It's just all about time management. Trust me, man, you're not alone. I struggle with it too. And it's crazy because I'll say it to myself every day, like, man, I gotta get organized, I gotta do this, and I still don't do it. You know, it's a struggle. Like, I'm getting better. Like, I got a planner, I'll write stuff out, but there's still so much more. Okay, what it is you can write it all out, but you still gotta have a system, you know? Like, okay, today I'm gonna do my top 3 things. It might be 2 other things that could fall by the wayside and be pushed tomorrow if I don't get there. You know, that type of thing. Just have a system, like know what you're gonna do, how much you're gonna try to accomplish, and if you don't accomplish this, don't feel bad about it, because that used to be my thing. I have like 50 million things on my plate for the day, and I get like 4 of them done, and then I feel like guilt. I'm mad because I didn't get all the other stuff done. But you just never know what your day is gonna bring. You never know what life's gonna bring, so it's not gonna be the road, you know, the path that you thought you were gonna take at all times, you know. So that's my thing too. So cool. Yes, self-analysis is always good. Own it.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-analysis is extremely important.
Yes.
I agree.
I like to always ask that because we all could do something better, you know. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time. I really enjoy watching your feed, watching your life, and seeing what you're doing. Loving the pig, Pumba Sunflower. Loving the pig, man.
Thank you. He's passed out. He's happy. He's right here asleep.
Keep Puma strong. Keep loving on him, man. I love it. Yes. But yeah, man, I will be supporting you. You got a fan for life. I'll be supporting you.
I'm a fan. Thank you.
I appreciate that. And as soon as you can let us know more about the TV show, I'm sure you will. So I'll definitely be supporting that. I'll be watching, rooting you on, man. So yeah, Absolutely. That's cool. God is good.
Yes. Yes. Good. All the time.
Yes. Anybody out there who's ever thinking about being a Vanlifer, hit her up in the DMs if you got questions. She's doing her thing, man. I love it. But listen, y'all. Kickin with KoolKard. This is episode 84. Another one in the bag. I will be back every week, Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You never know who I might have. I'll keep bringing you these gems, keep bringing you these great guests, just like Narviebarbie, y'all. I'm telling you, I have the greatest guests, man. We have a good time on here. Great conversations. It's not interviews. We're really just having some cool conversations, just kicking it, you know. And hope that you can get some gems that are dropped, and you can help yourself with them. Yeah. So until next time, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Narvy, I thank you. We all thank you. We appreciate you. You have a good night. God bless, and we out of here, y'all. Peace and love.